But there's a topic that's not really for debate. Of course, we dominated the holy crap out of Mercer.
Yeah, yeah. And watching the game, uh, the game always finds its rhythm. I thought as the game progressed, started finding a rhythm, and you could see, um, a little superiority with talent in Alabama. But I mean, Mercer played well, and there were some mistakes, things that made nature that they made. But overall, I thought they played pretty good. They really got after it. They made some good plays, solid. And but I'll tell you what, the thing that I'm noticing most with regard to Alabama as the season has progressed is they are really, really getting better on defense. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, they're tackling better. There were some penalties there. I mean, I, sometimes these penalties, the refs kill me because, and now we do the replay, and it's just, I mean, they're at the start of the second half. I mean, it was like over and over and over with these replays, and you know, and going to the film and looking at it and over. It just screws the rhythm of the game. And then I thought some of the calls were just bogus. I mean, they're on the opening drive with Mercer. They called a pass interference, and guy obviously there was no way to catch the ball. And I didn't think I thought there were little hands there, but it was back and forth with both the receiver and the defensive back, and so I thought that was just I think I didn't agree with it, put it that way. But in the end, turnovers and things in that nature, Alabama was able to capitalize and not make a lot of turnovers, and then have some sustained drives and do Milrow once again. He's a threat. So overall, I thought it was pretty good. I thought Mercer was held their own as far. I mean, be honest with you, I thought they held their own and were in the game and were playing hard. And then I thought Alabama defensively getting better and better, tackling's getting better, and when you have that in your back pocket, you got Milrow and you got big plays on offense with Ryan. Williams, he came out and had some big plays early and stuff like that. So you're going to have a pretty good whatever with offense, but then now the defense is really getting a lot better, doing a lot more stunts, and they were in some good plays. And hats off to Mercer. I mean, we had them wrapped up a couple of times. They spun off of it and generated some yardage and stuff like that. But defensively, I'm feeling really good. Every week I'm starting to get a little better with what we're doing on defense.
yeah, we need our defense to look really good, especially against Oklahoma and Auburn. I mean, I get it that Oklahoma and Auburn are teams that are fighting for bowl eligibility, but we definitely need to win those next two games to get in the playoffs. I don't know if we're going to get in the SEC title game, and like Jeffrey, our co-star for the call-in show and host of Indiana The Voice of College Football said, I'd much rather get in the playoffs and get in the SEC title game. And, as far as I recall, I don't know if you heard this part during the Alabama Mercer game, but I know like the broadcaster at the game was saying nobody should be leaving out the loser of the SEC title game, which tells me right then and there, whoever gets in the SEC title game, doesn't matter who wins or loses, they're in no matter what. I've been saying that for weeks. I've said it all off season throughout this whole year. It's going to be the SEC teams that get in the title game and the Big Ten title game that get in. So it's like if Alabama gets in the SEC title game with all this magic, well, all
Hmm.
this upsy daisy stuff going on in the conference, we can see Bama get in regardless.
Yeah, did you watch ESPN Game Day this morning?
Little bit.
Yeah, I watched some of it, and they went through the SEC scenario, and you could the way they were, and of course things have to pan out and different things, and one of the scenarios involves Auburn, beating Texas A&M or something like that. So, which I don't think is going to happen. But then at the end, Texas A&M Texas play. But there is a scenario where you could have 6 or 7 teams at 6-2, with 2 losses at the end of the regular season, and then how do you know? And of course, they've got all these multitude of tiebreakers and all head to head and everything. But I mean, the first season, I mean, just because somebody's got 2 losses, if they keep winning out, Ole Miss, Alabama, these teams, and the top dogs up there with 1 loss. You're looking at Tennessee tonight. Georgia pulls it off, which they're definitely capable of, and then Auburn, whatever with Texas A&M, and then so there's a lot of strange stuff left for us to go through to find the scenario. I'm sitting behind me, and I'm seeing Florida is 13-all with LSU. That's interesting. I think everything will lay because they got the easiest path after tonight, and so Tennessee wins tonight, they're going to be in, no doubt. And then whoever wins, and Auburn's not going to give. I don't know. They may, who knows? But then whoever wins Texas A&M will be in, so that'll be it.
Oh yeah.
But now if Georgia. If Tennessee wins, but if Georgia beats Tennessee, then now we got some craziness to weed through for a little while.
Well, George is basically fighting for their playoff lives here, and knowing how Kirby works, he's going to get them motivated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they've been in a lot of big time games, and I think they'll. They were talking on game day today a lot about Carson Beck, and but I don't know. I watch Milroe and I go back through film and I look, and so I'm primarily watching what's going on with Milroe and secondary stuff like that. But I think tomorrow I'm gonna spend some time going back and see where Beck is making some mistakes and throwing little interceptions, things of that nature. All I know is if he plays against Tennessee the second half, he played against Alabama. Look out.
There we go.
Because that guy was a warrior that night. He was outstanding. So.
Well, I was going to say that you had some stats pulled out from the Alabama Mercer matchup.
Mm-hmm.
So I noticed that third down we looked really good on. Passing yards are a lot better than they have been in past weeks. And you talked about those turnovers. We forced them today.
Mm-hmm. And there were some odd turnovers today, with the knee down and even with Alabama and Jalen, Milroe at the start of the game. Was he down? I don't know. That call could have gone either way, I guess. If it's even, give it to the home team. I don't know. In baseball, what if it's, tie goes to the runner? And if I'm a referee, if it's even, I'll give it to the home team because I got to get out of the stadium. But yeah, so there were some interesting scenarios that panned out with regard to decisions on turnovers and that. But when I look at the game right there, I'm looking at third down efficiency, and Alabama definitely much better. And kudos to the defense. I mean, the result with Mercer is based on the defense, 1 for 9. Defense stepped up and played well. And then total yards, obviously. You see where I didn't highlight the passing because there were so many, 4 quarterbacks played for Alabama?
Yeah, Jalen and Ty Simpson played today.
Yeah, and then Dylan, and then Austin Mack, big guy, played at the end, threw that one to the corner of the end zone. The only thing about the game that I hated the most was for who was it? Was it Proctor? They said, Miller was down, or was it Haynes? That one of them was down at the end. The knee went down, and that kind of stuff, and the ball popped out, and that guy, you saw when he was running off the field, you saw him running, he was screaming, he was, oh my gosh, and they took it away from him. So I hated that. But the stats where they should have been. I was and I know the formula. Look, here's the formula with regard to starting players. All right, you're going to give what you can when you're playing a whatever opponent you're supposed to beat. Get what you can the first half, and then starters play the opening drive of the second half, And then if good things happen, scores still in control, then you start playing. Second, third, get guys off the bench and let them have a good time. And so so I was kind of concerned. I thought after the first quarter, I don't know, they're going to get Milrow out of here and stuff like that. But then after I started pondering it and thinking and that kind of stuff, so I know DeBoer and most football coaching aficionados know the general gist of it. Get what you can the first half, starters first, drive the second half, and then you go from there. So they stuck to the script. So no problem. I was initially worried, but I got over it real quick. But you can see the stats right there: third down efficiency, total yards. I didn't passing was a combination, so I didn't really focus on that. But then I went down there turnovers. And you see, I didn't look at penalties because some of these calls were just, I don't know, they were out there. So I didn't focus on penalties. So
Yeah.
big win, did what they had to do, control their destiny. Got to go to Norman.
Oh yeah.